Just like that, Blake gets himself back in the game. It's a huge play, but I still have to worry about the fake out from this Kangaskhan going on to his own Kangaskhan. A combination of that and an attack from Bishop can take him down pretty low. He does need his Kangaskhan to at least help him pick up one more knockout on the one on that Bishop to give him a chance at winning this game. Because Roselli's not going to be able to win that duel, but if he can use his Kangaskhan to take the Bishop out, maybe Roselli can close it for him. It's going to be a close game here, and a fake out is going to be a big deal. If we see a fully paralyzed on that fake out, like you mentioned before, that can end the game.
Don't blame it on me if it happens. If you don't count it for one, you got me that one. Not my fault. Whatever happens, it's the game. It's called the game. 25% chance of fully paralyzed when Pokemon is paralyzed. So.
It's a trick of doing it this many times, though. The more times you keep rolling those dice, sooner or later it's going to happen, but not this time.
It's not this time because Kangaskhan is going to get a fake out on that Roselli, so not decided to fake out the Kangaskhan instead of targets on Roselli. We're going to see another power punch into the Bishop, and that is going to go ahead and take out that Bishop. Even if it had no success, go for now. He's not a +3 Mega Kangaskhan out of the field against a paralyzed Kangaskhan. Blake really turned this one around.
Yeah, I mean, we saw two big plays there. That one didn't look quite as flashy, but still, it does the right thing. He anticipates Bishop's not protecting and takes an easy knockout. A little strange to see the fake out on Roselia. Perhaps Alberto thinking that Blake's Kangaskhan had protect and would use it there and didn't want to take free damage, but pretty aggressive play in game one. And we see the forfeits of Blake taking game one.
Blake takes game one against I would say, a lot of odds. A lot of odds against Blake, but he managed to produce really impressive plays. He said that fake out not targeting the other Kangaskhan was interesting. I wondered if maybe Alberto was just slowing down the Bishop, and then you'd have to play the double paralysis game. And he was already playing with Fire or Thunder in this case quite some time, so he doesn't want to let him do that on more.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of do whatever you can. If you give a free turn, you get to advantage of it. But unfortunately, I could have been a shock in that one. Didn't quite work out for him the way maybe he was hoping he would. It seemed like he had a pretty big lead that game. But I mean, I guess one thing is, if you build a big lead like that, you're capable of getting it more than once. Maybe this time we'll be able to change things up. I'm sure he was surprised with that Thunder Wave in particular, but this time you know what's coming.
Absolutely, the Blake didn't feel both Thunder Wave and Helping Hand for Roselli, and Cycling as well. So I believe we saw just about.
So all four of those Ice Beam.
We saw Ice Beam, of course. So we know that there is no protect on that Roselli, and maybe I'm going to go ahead and take advantage of that because, as Dwee and I were talking about earlier, Roselli does have some moves that wants to run. Roselli we saw didn't have protect, and this one does not. So it just comes down to, once again, building your team the way you want to, playing maybe running as little information as you can in game one, but Roselli is kind of just overhand.
Well, speaking of revealing information, I think one thing that was interesting is we saw Roselli and Roden both get hit low enough that we probably would have this. And Roselli's taking his do enough damage, or Roden's needs to be damaged enough that we didn't see a Citrus Berry in after Pokemon. So one of the few teams that probably isn't using one, since I certainly wouldn't expect Charizard to hold it, and Heatran also not a common user.
Dude, it could be Belly from Charizard. Don't sleep on that. You don't even need the Charizard next to that. We do see the leads are Kangaskhan, Thundurus, Alberto, and Kangaskhan Roselli from the Lake.
As I said, Pokemon is the first game. Thundurus joining the battle for the first time here. And again, we don't see Blake's Charizard. I'm not too surprised here with both Heatran on the other team. He hasn't seen Keller. I guess he knows he probably doesn't have an assault that's based on the damage psychic did. So not too many huge problems for it, I guess, but choosing to go with the Kangaskhan mirror once again. A lot of players are trying to avoid those mirrors, but he had the best player of it the first time, so I guess he has 2 more shots at it if he wants it.
Yeah, I always think that that's a pretty safe bet, and even the first game, I said it's not tonight, but in the first game, you don't see the lead, you're comfortable with it, you can adjust it for the period for the game. We're going to see Alberto switch into that Landers. Once again, pretty nice switch to intimidate that Kangaskhan. And I really like that Alberto brought the Thundurus, especially now he's seen the Microwave. He has 2 Pokemon on the field that cannot be paralyzed by Thunder Wave, and that was a pretty smart adjustment after getting that information from game one. Kangaskhan here is going to Mega Evolve. Probably to the Thundurus is going to protect that Kangaskhan. He's going to go for the power of, no, that's the fake out. It's the fake out on the Landers, which is pretty delivery damage on the other side. That's it.
Yeah, the Thunder Wave by Lander is not doing the greatest thing. Yeah, so a good switch. A little bit scary there with bringing Landers in on his Roselli. Always the danger of Ice Beam just taking out a single hit thanks to the massive amount of damage it's doing for Roselli. But ends up being a safe switch. Kangaskhan gets intimidated. Thundurus survives the turn safely. Now threatening paralysis. Kangaskhan's got to get out.
Yeah, Kangaskhan does not want to be paralyzed. Blake knows how much, like, he did that last game. And he proceeded this time around. So the Landers instantly both of Thundurus and Pokemon. Of course, really didn't affect the Landers exactly. Right. We're going to see from once the Cresselia on the very smart play as Coach, like you said, was a bit more obvious. We just want to keep that feedback. Not just the U-turn over into the Cresselia, you can again see just a couple of words off of that castle that I mentioned. It has enough Cresselia to paralyze, though. I think that Alberto's going to be crossing the seniors at 80. Not something I pointed out for Bryce. Alberto's going to let go out into Kangaskhan. We're going to see the full paralysis on Blake's side.
Yeah, well, you're saying something like that.
I'm sorry, it's complicated. What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, so we didn't see any of the paralysis the first game. That does happen here. Somewhat likely that, I guess, it's probably an ice cream in the Thundurus like that. You've got to anticipate the U-turn, but we're far enough into this series that there's a great deal of kind of, well, I know my team is expecting me to do something, so I'm doing something else, so who really knows?
You can't once you get this team, especially because these players, this is their 7th round of season. This could possibly be the 20th game these players have played, I think. So that's having a lot of Pokemon, especially when the level of play is so high with rating, constantly trying to run that. It's very difficult. We're going to go ahead and see, we're going to see Kangaskhan Mega Ball, and it goes for the fake out on the Landers. Good to have damage there, just because of the seems like attack hours. And then we're going to see a taunt on the Cresselia, which is a very nice play taunt. Judging by the way Blake Machine, he said, yes, Cresselia is going to go. Cresselia is going to go for the ice cream, so he actually predicted that. It looked like a not a good job. It was not a good job, really.
Somebody's got to.
Somebody's got to.
And pretty nice ice cream there. Looks like with the citrus berry, it'll be really close to 3 hits. Probably not going to quite get it. The Lakers is here to have some damage potentially. So pretty good play. I like the one there, realizing that Kangaskhan getting the hell out of the first game was pretty much a game ender, but like that's something you have to do. You can't always get the optimal solution to a play. You just have to take the best you can get.
Looks like Blake really values being able to do everybody who's helping things. He's going to switch that Cresselia out of the and then build some muscle. We're going to see a super power from the Landers onto the Kangaskhan, but it's just barely going to miss the knockout. 31 hit points left on that Mega Kangaskhan. We're going to see the Kangaskhan go ahead and decide to fire an attack off into the roadside wash double edge. Going to be able to pick up the knockout right there. So no safe switches for Blake. Of course, Kangaskhan's going to take a huge amount of recoil. It's going to knock itself out. Let's come back real quick. I believe we still have one more Pokemon on the field. This is not going to be able to get the back.
Yeah, pretty strange turn there. Thundurus probably not getting quite what he expected there. And takes something usually superpower, but it's trained defensively enough to survive. Which trades a knockout with that non-citrus berry rotom.
Yeah, I think that Alberto obviously was just double targeting down that Cresselia slot, which ended up being rotom. So you just wanted to make sure that Citrus gets down. Definitely. And Alberto's going to go ahead and bring in the Landers, getting another intimidate off the Cresselia. Is going to come back and
yeah, unfortunately, when the Cresselia wasn't taken down, you can kind of see why he wanted to get rid of it now. Two Pokemon who very much do not want to be hit with ice beam, that are doing that much damage on the field. Thundurus can take a couple and stronger on the special side than the physical one, but Landers definitely going to want to avoid even a single one. So there's a U-turns here in a pretty tough spot. But again, you kind of see these turns where you can expect something U-turn, maybe you won't. Kind of right around the point of the battle, I'm expecting one of the players to usually unexpected here. Maybe either see U-turn not happen or ice beam not punish the slot there.
Yeah, I have a feeling, I don't want to say it because I don't want to go and mess anything up for either of these players, but Crescelia's going to go ahead and get moves on. Definitely not really expecting to see the Kangaskhan is going to come back in. I'm kind of expecting a rock slide from that Landers. Thunder's actually going to go for the third on the Landers slot, predicting a switch, and then we're going to see a U-turn from that Landers into Kangaskhan slot. So it looked like Alberto just predicted the switch wrong, but he switched out the Landers and turns out he's switching out the Cresselia instead. Which is just one of those gutsy calls from Keller's going to come in for Alberto as the Landers on the opposite side. They also goes for the U-turn. So this is just one big U-turning fest, trying to take advantage of the intimidates as best as these players can.
Yeah, Landers hit it silliest there. Both of them just not really doing anything, switching out. But they both have their Pokemon with Intimidate in the back, able to bring that out to intimidate multiple attackers on either side if they wish to. And again, we see reasons why Alberto wanted to show her the feint as he Keller really doesn't want to take another one of those psychics. You know, I think even a second punch would be able to damage it enough that psychic would knock it out from here.
Especially if you're already missing 11 hit points. When you're taking psychics so terribly, those 11 hit points actually matter. It's really impressive to see Cresselia put endgame a lot of that.
Yeah, but we saw that Thunder Wave, and even when it can't get that off, it doesn't get something done. Getting rid of this Thundurus is probably the first priority for Blake, because that can tell her and Landry is kind of open season, but even with that doing that, I think Cresselia is putting a incredible amount of pressure up for a defensive Pokemon.
Without a doubt, and we're going to see Blake withdraw the Kangaskhan, most likely just wanting to get into the dimension. I'm kind of expecting Alberto to do the same thing. We'll find out in a minute if he does to his second counter out. We're going to see Thundurus actually go for another Thunder Wave. Blake is predicting these perfectly, switching the Landers in, but Alberto did not take any risks even if that prediction happened. He's going to pick up the knockout, be the first one to remove the intimidating Pokemon from his opponent's side of the field. A Psychic, though, going into the counter is going to do a lot of damage again. 7 HP. Calm down, Cancel. Cresselia is intense. The Kangaskhan is going to come back and no longer intimidated. Blake cannot switch out against that Landers.
And Cresselia's in a pretty good spot, though. I mean, that was a nice play by Alberto. You know, you built the Thunder Wave and that punch on that slot, so you get something you like if Kangaskhan stays in, which is some damage, and the paralysis switches out to a free knockout. But taking all that damage from Calder was something that was going to happen no matter what happened in that play, as long as it wasn't a fully paralyzed. And the trouble with that is now that Cresselia is very close to being carried at this game. If you can find a way to knock out Thundurus, Cresselia can use one turn each to knock out Thundurus and Calder. So, I feel like Alberto might be using some fully paralyzed in this future.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I didn't say it. I'm not getting it this time. So Keller is actually getting knocked out from that fake out knockout there. Look just very good right now. That really didn't matter. But the Thunder is going to fire off into the Kangaskhan, slow it down. More full paralysis that Scott had just mentioned. We're going to see the full paralysis that Scott had just mentioned.
I mean, that's what he needs at this point. I think it's a way to get through this match. Like, he's going to need more.
He's going to need more of those.
He doesn't get the intimidate now on Kangaskhan, but now there's only 2 Pokemon left on Alberto's side as well, so he doesn't want to just rocket the superpower here and start kicking on Cresselia for the rest of the game, so it's going to be tricky. We're most likely going to see everyone's favorite combination of the 2 Pokemon paralyzed. Landers can't use Earthquake, it can't use superpower. Time for Rock Slide.
You guys can't see it, Scott's rubbing his hands. Ladies and gentlemen, we see Rock Slide. It's going to be a doozy. Okay, Rock Slide, of course, has a flinch, but paralysis there, 25% chance to go paralyzed. That's going to be 18 hours plays out. That Rock Slide is coming out. Blake is smiling, waiting to see what happens. Looks like Thundurus is going to go ahead and get a Thunderbolt up on Cresselia. Very smart, recognizing that threat. We're going to see Kangaskhan go for the frustration here. It's going to do a lot to Thundurus, but that Citrus Berry is going to wait to make sure that it's going to be staying alive. What really needs to hope for here is either a full paralysis on Cresselia, or it looks like he breaks through and he's going to go ahead and fire open Ice Beam into the Landers.
I don't think anyone is a huge fan. You see, Kangaskhan using that frustration, and I think that's what all of us feel when we see the combination of Thunder Wave and Rock Slide.
Definitely, it looks like this is going to be pretty much the end of this game. Sucker Punch onto that Thundurus is going to finish it up. And Blake is going to go making sure he does not get knocked out. Blake just has to see how the resistance treats him.
Yeah, I hate that feeling.